What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the best and most disappointing Masterpiece scale figures for 2021. Now, as I always mention with these, this is my opinion, so I try to be objective, but of course I am choosing based on my experience. Now, the rules for this are, number one, I had to have reviewed it on my channel. Number two, it's got to be a new figure, not a repaint or a reissue. And number three, it's got to be Masterpiece scale. So that being said, let's get started. We'll start off with the most disappointing figures for 2021. Coming in at the number 3 most disappointing is the MPM-12 Optimus Prime from Takara Tomy and Hasbro. Now, this figure is kind of late coming because several other Bumblebee movie Optimus have come out, like Toy World, 3-Zero, AOE Mech, and several other third-party companies. And unfortunately, this is not better than those other ones. It has a couple issues like the droopy hands, lack of articulation in certain spots, the head and the eyes kind of being dark. So that's why this is number 3 most disappointing. Coming in at the number 2 most disappointing for the year is the Zeta Toys Red Spider. Now, this figure took forever to come out. I'm not really even sure why they released it this year. It wasn't on anyone's radar, but coming out after the Deformation Space and the MP52 Starscream from Takara Tomy really just put this in a bad position. And then on top of that, the quality wasn't very good. Mine broke right at the hands. Just a poor quality figure. Now, the price is pretty low, but because of those reasons, this is the number 2 most disappointing for the year. Coming in at the number 1 most disappointing for the year is the X-Transbots Gravestone trailer to form their version of Menasor. Now, this was a highly anticipated figure, also very expensive, over $220, and unfortunately didn't deliver on the promise. So if you purchased all 5 of their Stunticons and then you were looking for this, there were several problems with it. So number 1, the transformation was really not fun. The combine mode itself wasn't very stable. They needed more ratchets, especially in the legs. And the overall quality of the plastic just didn't feel great. So for that reason, and at the highest price, number 1 most disappointing for the year. And for dishonorable mention, we have the Fans Toys Universal Stand. Now, this wasn't a Masterpiece scale figure, but it was a Masterpiece scale accessory, and it was very disappointing. It didn't work well, low quality, especially coming from Fans Toys, which we don't expect that kind of thing. So dishonorable mention for the Fans Toys Universal Stand. Coming in at the number 3 best for 2021 is the Deformation Space Crimson Wings, their version of Starscream. This thing really looks great, has great articulation. The both alt mode and robot mode look amazing. The only issue with this one is the transformation is really tough, and that's why I didn't put this at number 1 or 2. But still, great figure for the year, really good competitor with MP52. Coming in at number 2 best for the year is the Robot Paradise Acoustic Wave, or Fans Toys. Now, this figure was really highly anticipated. It took a long time to come out, many years. They obviously redesigned it, and I love the new design. I love how it looks, how it articulates, the overall alt mode, the tapes. Now, some people don't love Rumble and Frenzy. I personally like them, but they're not necessarily better than MMC. But as a set, as a whole, Acoustic Wave and its tapes, really well done for 2021. And coming in at the number 1 best figure for the year is the Mastermind Creations Optus Pexus and Optus Nox. These figures knocked it out of the park. Really was kind of surprised me with the level of articulation, paint, detail, sculpt, and accessories. The Optus Nox upped it even more with the cape and the sword. It's just really well done. I wasn't expecting this to be in the top, but because of the way they did it, now it isn't a G1 figure, so it's not going to be on a lot of people's lists, but for me personally, the things that I reviewed, this is up there with some of the best figures I've ever seen. So and that's why this is number 1 figure for the year. And for honorable mention of best figure of 2021 is the HasLab Unicron. Now, this is not Masterpiece scale and by no means the best figure of the year, but it deserves honorable mention because of the event that it is for Transformers collectors. It's the first time we've gotten something of this size. It's the first time that Hasbro has dealt with the logistics of shipping, packaging, and overall design of something this large. including the ratchets and overall materials. So that's why this is a honorable mention for 2021. So that wraps up 2021 for me. I really wanted to thank all of my subscribers, people who commented, subscribed, liked. Special thanks to those who have provided content for my channel. Their names were at the beginning of this video. I had a great year in Transformers. Really hope to have more. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.